Hi, my name is Tomasz and you're watching Casual DIY channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this massive, fantastic looking trivet. Check out the video. For this particular project, I'm recycling. I've got this fantastic offcut from a kitchen worktop, although there's a bit of a problem with this board. Let me show you. Unfortunately, the board over the years developed a bow. Let me just put some light behind it so you can see it better. So the first job in this project is to get rid of the bowing in this board. To remove the bow from the board, I'm actually going to be using my thickness planer and a jig. The whole process is really that simple. We need to place the board onto the jig, onto the flat surface I'm using, making sure that the bowed edges are facing upwards. Then we need to shim the board so it's stable and it's not moving. And I'm also going to be using some hot glue to stabilize the board and basically attach it to my jig. Now the shims I'm using are plastic shims, but you can use whatever you've got in your workshop. Some offcuts will do absolutely fine. Just make sure that the board is securely attached to the jig itself before you run it through the planer. As mentioned before, this board is a glue up from a kitchen tabletop that it's a cutout for the sink. So it's a perfect solution for my particular project. However, in this particular case, the way the board will be running through the thicknesser, I am expecting some tear out at the end of it. Now in my particular case, it's not an issue as the board at the minute is obviously too long and I will be cutting it to the size, so that's fine. Although if your board, if the stock you've got is more or less not too far away from the desired length, and you want to prevent any tear out from your thickness planer, I would suggest gluing something to the ends of your board, and that will help in this scenario. And now it's time to sort out the second side to be flat and parallel to the first one that we just did. This time no jig is required as we've got a one flat face that the thickness planer will reference off. Now with the bow gone, we can turn our attention to the sides of this board. One of the sides is fine and the other one has been cut on a slight angle, so I can reference the good side on my table saw fence and make both of the sides parallel and straight to each other. Now I'm cutting a thin piece of plywood. This will actually become our jig for the router. Right then, so to get the pattern I'm after in the board itself, I've marked 2 points on each corners where I'm gonna place my jig. As you can see, it's just a strip of plywood. I've marked off where I'm gonna be pre-drilling the holes for the nail to go to. So each time I'm going to change the position, I'm going to take out the nail and make it closer and closer. The router will be on the other end, and basically we after this movement like so, each time getting a little bit different, shorter and so on. When we complete this side, I'm going to flip the board over and do the same thing from the other end. That will give us a really nice cool design. One thing that I actually forgot to show you, what router bit I was using. Obviously it's just a straight bit, 19 millimeters in thickness, but unfortunately the hardwood, the sapele, became too hard for it, and it just wasn't doing what it's supposed to be doing. I'm not surprised, it's only a very cheap bit. So it actually more or less done, I would say, half of the project, so that's still fairly impressive. And the remaining bit of the project, I've actually used a channel making bit, and that's 19 millimeters as well, so it gives you a basically a round channel. And I have to say I actually like the look of it a lot more in this way. So if you've got a bit like that, go for it, because it makes a very interesting design, which I'm going to show you right now. Obviously this is not a final product yet. We've got loads of sanding ahead of us and applying some finish to it and some feet. I've got some rubber feet for this. So yeah, let's continue with the project. The best thing that we all love, sanding. But before that, I'm just going to round off all the edges, all the channels with a slight round over bit. Two coats later of the Osmo, and I'm now ready to install some rubber feet on this board. Alright, check this out. I think it came out absolutely amazing. Better than I was imagining it in my head, I have to say. I'm really pleased how this came out. So let's whack it in my kitchen and see how it looks there. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little project. Apart from the hours upon hours upon hours of routing, I did as well. If you did, drop me that like button down below, and remember to subscribe to my channel for more cool content in the future. For now, that's all. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your time. Take care. This looks really cool.